Everybody gather around while I cook the racism isn't real anymore theory that white people hide behind. Before I continue, I just wanted to clarify, yes, I put myself positioned here purposely because I wanted to show all the black people that defend them what they look like. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna chill over here with this OG Karen for a second so that way I can be sure to shit on her with this next part. Introducing Sundown Towns, also known as Sunset Towns, Gray Towns, or Sundowner Towns. These are all-white neighborhoods in the United States that practice a form of racial segregation, say it with me white folks, by excluding non-whites, as in black people, via some combination of discriminatory laws, intimidation, and even violence. These nuts. Alright, her turn. These practices were not restricted to the southern states. Don't believe that the North and the South are different shit. Stop falling for it. Let's get it. Following the end of the Reconstruction era, thousands of towns and counties across the United States became sundown localities. In 1853, all blacks, as in black people, were banned from entering the state of Indiana. Those who were caught in the state and unable to pay the fine were punished by being re-enslaved and sold at auction. I don't need to repeat myself. This is the technology era, which is why I don't understand why Umar does it. All you have to do if you missed what I said, run it back. Similar bans on all black migration were passed also in Michigan, Ohio, and Iowa. This is 1853. This next part gets interesting. Road trips for African Americans were fraught with inconveniences and dangers because of racial segregation, racial profiling by police, and the phenomenon of travelers just disappearing. According to author Kate Kelly, there were at least 10,000 sundown towns in the United States as late as the 1960s. In these sundown towns, non-whites had to leave the city limits by dusk, or they could be picked up by police or worse. Let's talk a little bit about sundown suburbs. Many of the suburban areas in the United States were incorporated following the establishment of Jim Crow laws. The majority of suburbs were made up of all white residents from the time they were first created. Harassment and inducements contributed to keep African Americans out of the new suburban areas. A moment of silence for everyone claiming that white privilege does not exist. Keep in mind that the suburbs often did not provide schools for black people, causing black families to send their children to school in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is how Atlanta became segregated, the way it is today. This is how it's predominantly black. Did y'all know that the NAACP president Julian Bond at the time in 1940 wrote a book called The Green Book, in which he advised drivers to wear or have ready a chauffeur's cap, and if stopped, relate that they were delivering the car for a white person. To be continued.